Alright, authors that I will never read or will never read again. Number 1, Sarah J. Maas. I have not read anything from her before, and I don't think I ever will. One, because I don't really read that much fantasy. Regardless of her, fantasy isn't really for me. I may read a book here or there, but usually it's like dystopian first and foremost. 2, I have watched many videos from the YouTube channel with Cindy, where she kind of recaps Sarah J. Maas's books, and the writing and the plots and the characters, like, they're just not for me. Some of them sound a bit ridiculous in a way. I know she's a big romance author, but apparently she also has like fantasy series, just fantasy series as well. However, since that's not really my thing, I don't see myself reading her books. Number 2, J.K. Rowling. I was not a Harry Potter kid at all. In fact, whenever I would see like a glimpse of a movie in the TV, I would be fucking terrified. I am a sensitive person, have been since I was a kid. So that aspect, I've seen a couple of the movies now when I've been older, but I've not been too impressed by it. I haven't like okay, I can see why people like it, but I don't understand like the phenomena around Harry Potter. To me, the books seem like nothing special in a way. I majored in English, and one of my professors actually said during a children's and youth's course that Harry Potter is not very unique. There were plenty of magical school, wizard school series and books that were released when Harry Potter was released, so it's nothing special really. Especially with all the character names that are straight up racist or anti-Semitic, like character names or character depictions. I dislike it when authors, after years and years of release, just drop some information about a character that doesn't bring anything to the story. For example, that Dumbledore is gay. What does that add to the story? Or are you just trying to create even more hype when that was not necessary? Then there's Rowling's personal politics. She is disgustingly transphobic, absolutely horrifying. I don't even need to read, like in this video, her takes about trans people because everyone knows of them and they are fucking disgusting, so dehumanizing towards trans people. I could not imagine reading something by an author who views trans people in such a disgusting way, who obsesses over them, who has clearly nothing else in her life going on except hating on trans people, and most recently, asexual people. I found this really interesting Tumblr post that I feel like summarized pretty well how I view Rowling and people who still support her books. So there is a new HBO series coming of Harry Potter, and one of the reasons that J.K. Rowling wanted to create it was because the original trio, Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint, all have shown support towards trans people. So this is the post. If you're planning to watch the HBO Harry Potter series, I really hope you understand 2 things. 1, she pushed this reboot because the original cast have publicly supported the transgender community and she wants a do-over that doesn't involve them. Putting money into her pockets will directly harm transgender folks and specifically transgender kids. She uses her wealth to block bills that would protect trans youth. It's different than just hate speech, which is bad enough. And then someone added to this, she's also publicly stated that she believes that anyone who reads her books or watches her shows and films does so because they explicitly agree with her political views. There's no agree to disagree with her work. Every time you pick up her work or talk about it, you are saying to her, I agree with you, Joanne, whether you like it or not. I have no interest in reading Harry Potter or any of Rowling's releases, but when you add how despicable her political views and opinions on human beings are, she is awful and I could never ever support her. Someone who has supported her publicly is number 3, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. In 2014, I believe, when she did that TED talk of why everyone should be feminist, I really thought that speech was great. It included such important baseline feminist views that were presented in an accessible way. However, since, I don't know, the past few years, she has showed support on J.K. Rowling's insane transphobic views. She has said that some letter that J.K. Rowling wrote, that it was completely understandable and great view. So she supports her transphobic views. And then there was an interview, I believe, where Adichie was asked about trans women's experience. If she would say that trans women are women, she said that no, trans women are trans women. And then tried to explain that because trans women's experience of womanhood is very different. But when you say that and then you support J.K. Rowling, you're, in my opinion, transphobic. I feel like it's a very scapegoat explanation to be like, well, trans women and cis women experience womanhood differently. I said scapegoat. I meant cop-out. Every woman on this fucking planet experiences womanhood differently. Sure, there are some common experiences, but every womanhood is very specific to the person itself. Sure, you can relate to someone with your shared experiences in womanhood, but again, you experience womanhood quite differently because it's your own personal journey. Recently, Adichie released a new book and I saw some posts on Instagram being excited about it. I think it was shortlisted for the Women's Prize. I don't think it went to win on though. And I just don't think it's right to praise and support someone who is so publicly supportive of transphobic views. Alright, then number 4 is Haruki Murakami. I have read Norwegian Wood by Murakami and I've also read half of Kafka on the Shore, but I had to not finish it. One, I think Murakami's writing in Kafka on the Shore was too abstract to me, too metaphysical, too much. I just couldn't get into it. And my biggest problem is Murakami's depiction of female characters. In both Norwegian Wood and what I read of Kafka on the Shore, women were just there as objects, as accessories for men's pleasure. Men's pleasure and sexual satisfaction were at the center of the women characters' lives. And that is so disgusting and fucked up to me. I don't understand why so many people love Norwegian Wood, because to me, the way Murakami depicted those female characters is horrible. And when Murakami was asked about this, well, is this commentary on misogyny in society and how women are treated? I think, I don't have the direct quote right here with me, but I think he just said, no, it's just the way he depicts women. I will not be reading more of Murakami. You cannot convince me to read more of Murakami. I don't care if he's gotten better with writing female characters. I don't care. And last one, an author that I will never read is Neil Gaiman. I hate male figures, public male figures, such as male authors, who make being an ally for women and being supportive of women as part of their brand, when in their personal life they do horrible things as a way to demean women, as a way to mistreat them. The allegations against Neil Gaiman are horrifying, and I hate how he used his powerful position as an author to treat women horribly behind the scenes. We did have one of his books in our collection. I think it was on Norse mythology, but we, as in my partner and I, but we put that away as soon as the first rumblings about Neil Gaiman's behavior were released. I know for a lot of people, Neil Gaiman's books have been a source of comfort. However, in my opinion, you cannot separate the art from the artist in this case. Alright, so those were 5 authors that I never want to read or never want to read again. I had a few more, but I thought I would keep it in this 5. So hi, I'm Jenni. I make videos about books and culture. If you want to see more videos on those topics, subscribe to my channel. I also post book updates on Instagram. My username is @jenskosmos if you want to follow that. I hope you enjoyed this rant video and I hope I see you in the next one.